Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3935. Today's date is March 11, 2026. It's been almost like a night at exactly 10 p.m. All right, let's just jump into the question. Let's go. All right, the question is at which exact time and in what specific location will I perform this habit each day? Oh, okay, that's a really good question. Okay, yeah. Okay, first of all, what exactly is this question, and why am I asking this question to myself? Couple of days ago, I read a book, Atomic Habit by James Clear. Really amazing book. Highly recommend to you to read that book. I wanted to implement the value that book taught me. How do I supposed to do that? By asking question to myself honestly and giving the honest answer. Okay. So I went to ChatGPT, kind of like a say that I wanted to ask kind of like a simply I wanted to implement the value that this Atomic Habit book taught me. So suggest me at least like a 20 questions so that I would supposed to be implement those values in my life. So ChatGPT kind of like a suggest me 20 question. This is one of those questions. Now regarding about the question says that at what exact time and in what specific location I will perform this habit. Why this say this thing time and location? Is it really matter? Well, it's matter. Okay, yeah. Let me tell you one thing now. Ki when I say that ki I wanted to perform this habit or I wanted to do this or I wanted to do that, it is really essential that ki you need to be precise regarding about everything. Like but I don't know how to be supposed to explain. Okay, yeah. If you are dreaming about supercar, so let's just say I wanted to buy Lamborghini car. Okay, which Lamborghini model that you wanted to buy? Confused, right? You just decided that you just wanted to buy Lamborghini, but it doesn't kind of like a make it possible if you just buy Lamborghini. You have to be very much precise regarding about which Lamborghini should you want to buy. Let's just say I want V12 Murcielago, like a V12 Murcielago. I don't know, I like this Murcielago model, which is really good. Huracan is also really good too. There is a new Lamborghini Aventador, which is also really good. Like I like Aventador much more better, but there is a newer version is actually launched. I'm not really sure about, but Aventador is a kind of like a simply Lamborghini car that I really love, like regarding about design and things, specifically white color, really good. So basically, it's this thing, na, ki when you want to precise regarding about what exactly that you want, the chances of getting that thing is more possible. Like this is what it is. Yeah, like that's a legit true. Okay, yeah. Like if you want anything that you want to live, you have to be precise regarding about what kind of like things that I want, what model, where it wants, like everything, like how that money came from, this and that and that. How do I supposed to buy this car? Should I go to the Italy or should I go to Dubai to buy this car or not? How much tax? How much kind of like a GST should I supposed to be paid? How much tax should I supposed to be paid? There are so many things that actually matter. And when you think about that thing, you are kind of like actually thinking about realistic point of perspective that you are buying this Lamborghini car, and that is true. So being precise regarding about what you exactly want, this is really essential. Same thing happened with the habits too. Habits are really essential, and if you wanted to do any kind of like a habit, it is really essential that where you wanted to do and what location that you wanted to do. Okay, yeah, because that's a very essential factor, because it kind of like simply like this question, like as I mentioned, I wanted to implement the value in my life. Implement is actually comes from very specific point. Like let me tell you one thing. What kind of like a habit do I have? And first of all, I'm gonna tell you what kind of like habit do I have. Okay, so I have running habit. I am running for last 4 year. Okay, every day 30 minutes. Okay, I already mentioned this thing multiple times. Still I'm mention. Okay, then I do shower twice in a day. Okay, I brush my teeth twice in a day. I record my artifact for last 10 year. Artifact means self-reflection process. Okay, I do it twice. Okay, yeah, early morning after I eat dinner. Then I read book. Okay, yeah, since the beginning of this year, 2026, I started reading book. Till now, I read two books: Psychology of Money, Atomic Habit. Then third book I'm reading right now, How to Win and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I'm reading that book right now. Okay, so and another thing, content creation. I'm doing content creation for last 5 year. Okay, every single day I'm uploading my content on YouTube and Instagram platform. Okay, so basically this thing, these all are activity are my habits. Okay, yeah. Now where am I doing it that, and what is exactly time? Okay, and location. Okay, so habit number one, let's talk about since the beginning, since the beginning of the day actually happened. I wake up and kind of like assembly do kind of like assembly nominal stuff. Number two, number one, brush my teeth. Okay, I make a breakfast, and then I started reading my book. Okay, yeah, my book, artifact book, the book that I'm kind of like working on. I read that book. Okay, I read that book for almost like a 40 minute. Okay, I usually kind of like a simply read my book at rooftop. Okay, why? Basically this thing I don't know, but basically this is I wanted to kind of like read book in most possible kind of like a light is actually available. If I read books in kind of like a simply close in room or something like that, it it is also kind of like really good. It's not really that bad, but still I want to be kind of like exposure of sunlight and things like that, which is really possible to me to kind of like simply sit on the rooftop, and I would kind of like started reading my book. And by the way, in the morning it is really good. Okay, but sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes rain, sometimes so much cold, sometimes so much hot. Okay, but still it's good enough because early morning at 8 a.m. it's kind of like I had enough. I can able to be read. Okay, yeah. Then I read almost like a 40 minute of my book, artifact book. Okay, yeah. And then after that I kind of like a stretch up a little bit. Stretch up means like that ki I read that book. Okay, and then after that I just do like not stretch up, like a stretch up means like that ki I also use kind of like a simply brain training application. I mentioned this thing multiple times, but still again I mention I use 4 application: Brilliant, Lumosity, Elevate, and Duolingo. These are kind of like a 4 application that I use to brain training. Okay, yeah. These are 4 application are kind of like a very specific. Let's start from Brilliant. Brilliant is a kind of like assembly application is for kind of like assembly understanding the mathematics and things and that and that. Okay, I spent almost like 5 minutes. Then after that, Lumosity. Lumosity is also brain training app, which is kind of like a really good. By kind of like a visualizing point of perspective, it kind of like a tell us some sort of kind of like assembly brain training, which is really good. I spent almost like a 10 minutes on that application. Same thing happened with the Elevate. Elevate is also kind of like a brain training. Okay, yeah, but different. Okay, Lumosity is a kind of like a simply that visual base kind of like a simply the questions and things and that. Elevate is kind of like a simply word base. Okay, like legit word. Both are essential. Then Duolingo. I am not using Duolingo as a language learning app. I'm using like I was kind of like at the beginning I was kind of like started using as a language learning app. I kind of like simply start learning as a Mandarin, but then after that, no, it's kind of like consuming a lot of amount of time, and it kind of like hampered my another factor. So I decided that I shouldn't supposed to be learn language, but I'm kind of like learning chess. Chess is a kind of like a simply really good. I am learning chess. Okay, like basically 3 months ago, if you ask me that key, can I able to play chess? I would say no, I can't. But right now I can play chess. Okay, yeah. So might be I might gonna win, but still I'm not that grandmaster either. But still I could able to play chess. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this actually happened. I kind of like spend almost like a half an hour on those application, which kind of like somebody refresh me a little bit. Okay, yeah. And then after that, I kind of like read my book. Okay, yeah. Right now I'm kind of like reading Dale Carnegie book, How to Win and Influence People. I those like that book. I didn't really read that book for kind of like a specific period of time. I read one chapter. Like I make sure that ki each day I kind of like read one chapter. That's it. Each chapter kind of like takes almost like a 20 to 30 minute, but that is good enough. Okay, yeah. After I read my book, okay, yeah. Then after that, I kind of like do little bit of home chore, like mop the floor and things and that. Do shower and kind of like assembly, sit in front of my desk and started doing my work as a content creation. I make sure that I create content, upload my content on YouTube and Instagram platform. Okay. And then after that, all those kind of like a content creation process and then writing the book process and things and that. Okay. Then at almost like a 6:30 p.m., I usually went to work out. Okay. Yeah. Basically, this thing, the where I live in Varda city, and here is a stadium, local stadium, where everyone people come together and kind of like assembly do workout over there. It's free. It's okay, yeah. But the problem is that okay, that ground is a kind of like is on maintenance, so we cannot able to be allowed. Okay, there are kind of like a lot of things actually happen over that ground, so it's very difficult to work out. So I just kind of like simply work out in road. Like basically, what exactly happened? Like a behind that stadium, there is a kind of like a little bit empty space. I park my bike over there and kind of like a run for half an hour, set the alarm for half an hour, put on the music and just run 30 minutes. Okay. After I run 30 minutes, and then after that, usually is this thing, the like basically is this thing, the friend is actually with me, so that we should play badminton. But the problem is that he is actually gone, so there is no one. So I just run, and then after that I came home. After I came home, shower and things like that. Okay, ate whatever the dinner that I have, and then after that record artifact. Okay. By the way, also I forgot to mention is this thing. After I read the book, the Dale Carnegie, this I also record the artifact too. Okay, yeah. I spend almost like a 20-30 minute on recording artifact and things and that. So this is all my kind of like a routine and things and that. Okay, yeah. By the way, regarding about the location, all the habit are actually happen at the home. Okay, yeah. So it's nothing really at all. Okay. So these are kind of like simply all my habits, and this is the kind of like a time that I kind of like do it. Now, one of the biggest question is that why not I do kind of like a workout during the morning? Why cannot able to be read my book during the night? Well, basically it's just saying that I make sure that one of the difficult process should supposed to be happen early as possible. Okay, like running is not really that much difficult. Oh, I can able to be run. It's very easy, very convenient. My body can able to be kind of like a run 30 minutes, kind of like some just very common. Yeah, it doesn't like kind of like a somebody. I feel like that I'm putting lot of effort to do it. No, but reading a book, recording artifact and things and that, these are kind of like one of the difficult process. Okay, at least like right now I'm kind of like somebody at the beginning level. I just kind of like a reading book for almost like 2 months. Okay, but I kind of like make sure that I should supposed to be spend one of the difficult time early as possible. Like a difficult task should supposed to be done at the beginning of the days. Okay, so that's why I kind of like spend that much amount of time on reading book and things and that. Okay, and evening are for workout and things like that. Okay, there is also another thing that I realized that this routine is really good, but sometimes it's not kind of like simply possible. Why? Possible means what? Like basically is this thing like right now I don't really have any kind of like simply work. Like I have a work, I kind of like upload my content, platform and things and that. What I'm saying is that I don't have any kind of like a work which is associated with any other kind of like a things. Example is this thing that imagine you kind of like a startup, you have a kind of like a running a business and things and that. In that particular process, would you able to be handle this routine? Obviously not, right? But it doesn't really mean that I should supposed to be not to do that thing, because all those habits are kind of like a make me this particular person. If I wanted to achieve any kind of like goals and things or whatever I will become, I might not gonna kind of like a break my routine, or maybe I would break, or maybe I would kind of like adjust according to it. Okay, so yeah, maybe I might not gonna read 30-minute book. I might just read maybe 10-minute or maybe 15-minute. Okay, like basically what I realized that ki throughout the entire period of lifetime, like whatever the life that I kind of like simply live, is that ki it's not meant to be kind of like simply doing so much thing. No, it just meant to be do things every single day. That if you do this thing, then improvement actually happen. If you do not have time to read for then spend almost like a 10-minute, read one page, just a one page, that's it. Okay, yeah, just read one page. Like literally you just realize that just read one page and that's it. How much time it takes? Probably just like 5 minutes to read one page. Okay, I just read it. Okay, and that's the kind of like quality that key you just have to be consistent. Okay, and make sure that you are kind of like putting very less effort to do this thing, because you have a work, I do have work too, and we all have work, and kind of like somebody is this thing, because of this work, reading a book and things is might not be possible. That is true, but 10 minutes you could able to be kind of like extract from your time, and you could able to be read the book, right? So this is what it is now. Okay, so this is my kind of like something the kind of like some specific location and time and habit that I'm doing. Okay, yeah, so this is it. I should supposed to be end here, and thank you.